everybody. This is Andrea from Simply Outrageous Youth, and today we're going to talk about 3 ways to increase your child's focus. So, I get a lot of parents that come up to me and ask me, how do I increase my child's focus? And this is something that we all deal with as parents. And there are some reasons that kids tend to lose focus. One is that they may not be interested in the subject when they're learning something new. Another thing is that they may just get distracted. We have our cell phones that often distract us, or there may be a toy if your child is younger that they want to play with. Another thing is that maybe the task may be a little difficult. At first, when we're learning something, our brain hasn't made those connections with the new information. So it just may be a little difficult for them at first. And then sometimes they would just rather be doing something else, like going outside or hopping around, especially if you have children who are young and have a lot of energy, or even older children. They maybe want to talk to their friends or be on their phones or what have you. So I'm going to give you 3 tips that have helped me in increasing my child's focus. And also I work with older kids, middle school children that help to increase their focus. So the first one is just breaking up tasks. So research shows that our brains lose optimal focus after 25 minutes of doing work. So you want to break those tasks up into 25 minutes. And if you have smaller kids, it may be a little less time, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And this is called the Pomodoro technique. And after 15 minutes of work, or after 25 minutes of work, then you want to give your child a break. After that break, then come back and do another 15 or 25 minutes. This has actually worked really well with my son when he is learning something new. We actually keep it to about 15 minutes and we just take a break. So just breaking things up into smaller tasks will help to increase their focus. And that's when the brain has its optimal concentration. Also, number 2 is just to create more beginnings and endings. So I don't know if you know, like if you're reading a book, you tend to remember the beginning of the book and what happened at the end. Or if you're watching a movie, you tend to remember what happened in the beginning and also the ending. So this is called the primacy and recency effect. So the primacy effect is when you tend to remember the beginning of a list or of a book or of anything. And then recency is when you tend to remember the end. That's just how our brains work. And remember, I talked about in the last tip about the Pomodoro effect is when our brains has optimal concentration at 25 minutes. So basically, you're going to combine the primacy effect, the recency effect, and the Pomodoro technique, and you are going to create more beginnings and endings. So you're going to work for 15 to 25 minutes. And when you do that, you're going to take a break and then you're going to work for another 15 to 25 minutes. What this does is create more beginnings and endings. And that way, when you create more beginnings and endings, your brain is going to remember more information. The third thing you want to do is just take responsibility. As parents, we tend to blame our children for not maintaining their focus or having a lack of focus. And I would just encourage us as parents just to look at our responsibility in the matter. So I'll give you an example. My son, when he was getting ready for school, I was like, oh gosh, he's not focused. He wants to do everything else besides get ready and get dressed. But I had to look at what my role was in the matter, and I would just get up late. I would get up at the last possible second, which caused me to rush him. And my son is the type of person that likes to take his time. He likes to talk about things in the morning. And, when you're up late and rushing, you don't have time for all that. You just want to get what you need to get done and get out the door. So what I started to do was obviously I started waking up earlier. And that helped as well. But I also took it a step further and I created some games and activities for us to make our morning routine more efficient and effective. So for example, we would play Simon Says, and he liked that. So I would say, Simon Says, put your clothes on. And so he would do that. Or I would make it competitive where I would say, you have 60 seconds to put all your clothes on. And because he's competitive, boys usually like games. He would put his clothes on in a hurry, but it was something that it was fun for him to do. Also, when he was putting on his shoes, we would race to see who could put on their shoes first. So it made our routine more fun. And we just in the morning it just had we had a great start to our morning that way. So for taking responsibility, if your child is studying, you want to make the information more relevant to them. Maybe if they don't know information, have them create, I don't know, a YouTube video about it, or a role play, a rap, or something that they use to help them learn new things. They can record it on a recorder. So make the information more relevant to them and see how it applies to them. Also, breaking up the task into smaller increments, which we have talked about. So I do have a blog post which gives you 5 ways to increase focus in your child. Here I just gave you 3. I will link that blog post at the bottom of this video in the description box. And that's all for today. I hope this helps. Have a great day. Bye.